Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Season 12, Episode 20, overall 625 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. I hope everyone's doing well on this Saturday, November 29th, 2025. This is my fifth show in 5 days, and I'm looking forward to my guest tonight. I'm just worried I don't want to butcher her last name, but I'm looking forward to having our guest on tonight. She is a contract tile setter for 30 years in the province of Alberta. She's also a new musician, songwriter, and sometimes comedian as well. We're going to bring on our guest, Amy Zahorouski. I don't know if I got it right, but we'll find out for sure. And we're going to bring her on 1 second and talk a little bit of her career from being a contractor in the tile setting industry to being a musician, a songwriter, and she's also an arm wrestling champion too. So this is my first arm wrestling champion on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show as well. And as before we bring on our guests, good evening, Amy. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Chris. How are you?
I am doing good. I can't believe it's already the end of November.
Oh my gosh, it's less than a month till Christmas.
How's things in the province of Alberta? I'm here in Ontario, so.
I hear you guys are fairly chilly, so about the same. It's chilly here.
We actually got snow on the ground. We used to get snow in the old days in October and November here, but with global warming the last 20, 25 years, we've been getting snow like December, January, and February, and not in November, but we've had a little bit here in November and some more coming tomorrow too.
I know. Yeah, well, my son just moved to Ontario, so I get the updates.
Okay, and
here too. Yeah, it's on the ground.
Your last name, how do you pronounce it again?
Very anglicized is Zahorouski.
Zahorouski, okay. Zahorouski.
Yeah.
Got it. I got it.
I had a woman say it to me in a grocery store once, and it's Zahorouski.
So do you have a nickname too?
Oh, you don't want to know my nicknames, honey. They were horrible.
Okay.
Zero was one. That's probably the nicest one. The rest have something to do with a bum or something like that.
Is this your first podcast talk show that you've been on?
It is.
Wow, so I'm number one.
You are always number one, Chris.
Thanks. I try, and we connected through TikTok, and TikTok's really been a good tool. I joined TikTok 5 years ago, Amy. I thought it was ridiculous at the time because I thought I was 47 at the time. I'm like, oh, I'm too old for this nonsense. But somebody that's in the radio industry told me that if you want to get your name out there, you had to get on TikTok. And 5 years later, I've been on it, and it's really helped me learn how to promote myself, my guests, and create content.
Well, it's the only one I've actually learned to work with. So the rest still works in progress.
It's a full-time job, Amy, because you see I'm wearing this hat, but literally with this show, I wear 9 or 10 different hats. And the on-air stuff is the easy part. It's the booking guests, coordinating your schedules with your guests. Every guest has a different time zone. Things come up where guests can't come on. Promoting this show, downloading this show. So it's a passion of mine. If I didn't have a passion, I wouldn't be doing this, because a lot of people think, oh, you do your talk show from home, this is a piece of cake. And I'm like, no, it's not. I actually put more time into this than I did my other career.
Hey, and listen, as a shout out to you, Chris, and the people like me who just either, don't know the schedule and just pop up whenever. And what do we take 3 times to get this lined up?
Yes, but you know what? It happens. No, it happens. And you have to, in the radio media industry, you have to be flexible. And sometimes things happen. People forget or they have emergencies. So it was just a matter of getting our schedules together.
You were very patient. I thank you, my friend.
That's part of the job. And I think that's why I'm growing. You have to learn
I
to be
thought you were
patient.
shrinking,
So
Chris,
I couldn't hear you there. Sorry, what was
but
that?
I thought you were shrinking.
Ah, I am 53 now, so it's not that bad.
No.
Now,
By 80, you'll be almost like the Incredible Shrinking Woman or something like
thanks for the reminder.
that.
I'm just hoping to make it to 60.
Right?
So, but you know what? Age is just a number, and a lot of the younger people that are in this industry, they don't really care about my age. They really judge me based on my personality, my character, and that's one thing too. When I was in my other career, I always like, young people are useless. I'm not a fan of them. But being in media, I've worked with people that are in their early 20s to people that are in their 80s, and now I've learned to keep an open mind too.
Hey, I like the young folks in construction. They're the generation where a lady is normal, right? They're the breath of fresh air in the sexism world of construction.
Well, Amy, since I'm based in Ontario, I'm not far from Toronto. Can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and how did you end up going into the construction industry? And what challenges did you face as a woman in that industry?
Well, okay, my dad had a construction company. So, I mean, I was around the tools from very little, was working with him by 16. Ended up going to post-secondary 4 times and didn't do much with any of those opportunities. And by the end of that, I was like, maybe I'm doing what I like because I kept doing the trades through to support myself. And then once I made that decision, then it was pretty much full bore into the trades. Challenges, I didn't see a lot of the challenges really until I left working with my dad. You know, people don't say anything when in front of your dad. So it was actually pretty easy. Either they just didn't hire us if they had any issues with it, or we got the job. It was actually sometimes a real perk. But then when I left, then I started to see a little bit more. It just like, yeah, I always say there's 3 types of guys. There's the you're here to lay the tile, you, and then there's the I lay tile too, and then there's the, you know, I bumped uglies with your mother last night. And those guys are pretty funny because you just get dirtier and raunchier with them, and then they love you and off you go.
How much of an impact did your dad have, like especially as an influence in helping you out in your contractor career?
Well, I mean, he gave me my career. So, I mean, he's 100%. I wouldn't be here probably without him. I mean, he could be a bit of a brute to work for sure. You know, really gloated about me out in public, but sometimes a little bit of a shit in the, you know, on the job sites. But yeah, I mean, he was very meticulous, very good at what he did. He really, you know, he taught me all the little secrets that you know, make you good. There's always a tool that don't work so hard. You know, the finesse, the, you know, fine tuning, the just making sure that those little details are done, keeping it clean. You know, those are really big impact things on something. I mean, you always need to do a good job, but there's little things. You know, if you do a pristine job and leave the site a mess, people are upset. If you do a so-so job, which I never do, but leave it pristine clean, people are happy. So, you know, little things like that. He was a bit of that guy who would show up at, like, you know, 9 and leave by 2. So he kind of taught me some of the things not to do too. But I owe it all to him.
Now, when you were getting into this, did you get belittling comments from other coworkers, from the male coworkers?
No, not really, because like I said, I was with my dad. And so we were private contract. We'd usually go into people's homes. So it was a little bit smaller community type thing. And because like I say, people don't badmouth in front of dad. So I didn't see it until probably, I would say I branched off with him early 20s. Then I started to see a little bit. I finally had, the reason my company name is Pink is because I needed a name that would let people know it was a girl. Because I get people calling and they'd want to talk to the owner, and I'd say that's me, and they wouldn't believe me and be disinterested. So I came up with the name so that it would be obvious that there was a woman running it, and I'd get rid of that just before they even called.
Do you find in the 30 years in your career, do you find there's a few more women in the industry now than when you broke in?
Yeah. So when I first started in Alberta, it was less than 5% women, and I worked in Toronto for a while. It was less than 1% there.
Wow.
I don't know the percents now, but definitely you see tile's still pretty. Like there's 2 in Calgary, 2 other girls, 2 are tile setters, but it's my ex called one time to a company and just said, yeah, my wife's a towel setter. And they said, oh, is it Amy? He's like, how do you know? And it's like, well, it's a girl towel setter. So, but it's definitely increasing a lot.
Can you tell our audience a little bit about being a tile setter? Like what a daily day is like and a daily week's like?
Heavy. So it's like you got to get all the tile there. It depends too if you're doing subcontracting or if you're running the contract. If you're running the contract, then there's a period of the quoting and working with the clients to come up with final design and choose the products, and there's that legwork beforehand. With subcontracting, you just walk in, they hand you the job, and off you go. But you're picking up the tiles, you're getting everything set up, and then really I did go to art school. I have an art background. And I think that was really useful for me in my career because there's an art to installing it, just with everything lining up and grout lines and center laying, and you need to have an eye for that, for everything to look balanced and stuff when the job's finished. You don't want to start at one end and go across. That does not always work. So it's and then it's heavy. You're carrying boxes that are 85 pounds upstairs, and bags of mortar that are 50 pounds, and you're standing on buckets to mix, and you're covered in mortar. I do not dress like this when I'm at work. I wear a ball cap, and I'm covered in concrete and and no makeup.
Steel toe boots too.
Yeah, steel toe boots. Knee pads. Knee pads. And I forget to take the knee pads and go to the store, and people really enjoy that.
How physically demanding is the job, especially on your back and knees and your arms and even
it's funny
your feet?
Where I found it more physically demanding has been joints and tendons and stuff. So it is hard on your knees and stuff, but you wear the knee pads and you do that. But my back's okay. My hips going, but that was I had an ACL accident when I was a kid, so I think I just favored it over the years. But yeah, for me, the real wear and tear has been, carpal tunnels, tennis elbow. It's a lot of it is the joint and tendon issues.
What would you tell somebody, either male or female, that are looking to get into this industry from your experiences?
Well, it's a different time. So when I started just tying on with someone doing the work, now I've got 20, 30 years experience. So it doesn't matter if I've got the apprenticeship or the school background. I think that's a little more important now. I would certainly look into it. And the other thing is just to find, when you do go for the apprenticeship, whoever you're going to learn under, make sure that they're good. You do your research on the company, pay attention. The more meticulous, the bigger the high end the jobs are. Obviously, there's both, right? Because you want to be meticulous and quick on some of the cookie cutter stuff, but you want to be able to do some of the really expansive layouts and that type of thing. So it's really just pay attention to who you're working with, and that they're not cutting corners, and that it looks good when you're done.
What was the experience like working in Toronto?
That was interesting. When I worked in Toronto, that was early in my, so I was actually doing steel stud. So I was working in the high rises, and that was it. Yeah, for the most part, it did. So the site manager, who's the top guy, right, that everyone goes to. He would do, if I came down the elevator for a bundle of studs, and a bundle of studs is 5 pounds. Okay, it does not weigh much, but it's long. It's 8 feet. You throw it on your shoulder and you go to the elevator. He would stop everything and he'd run and carry those studs for me, which was almost more degrading than just leaving me to it. But again, small. I was just me and another guy doing it, and by the time we were the only ones on a floor. Drywalls would be below, exterior stuff would be above. So it wasn't. And surprisingly, someone did steal my pink hard hat though, which really shocked me. But for the most part, just did not see a lot of women. And like I said, that kind of the chasing after to carry my studs seemed a bit weird to me. Italians. They're all Italians in Toronto.
Now, I'm afraid of heights. How high up did you go doing some of these jobs?
Height-wise, so when I framed houses, walking the walls, by the time I was getting to a 3-story walkout, that was starting to hit the limit of my comfort zone. And then I'd be wanting to stand by the fireplace or like the chimney to hold on to something, because you're only on 5.5 feet. You're walking out to grab trusses and stuff. And once I had the truss in my hand, it wasn't so bad. But that 3-story walkout was about the height. So that'd be probably 30 feet. That was getting nerve-wracking.
Because I remember I was born in the 70s. I remember when the CN Tower was built, and there was guys that were like 500 feet, 1,000 feet,
Oh,
1,500 feet in the air, and they didn't even have the proper safety equipment back then. And it's like, I have so much respect for them, but I just could not do that job because of the
well,
fear of
it's
heights.
different because like when I do a roof, you're on a
Yeah,
flat surface. So
yeah.
I wasn't the same sight as like walking on the wall was. Walking on the wall was a different ballgame, you know. I mean, I can remember, and same thing back when I was starting, they didn't have the same rigid things in place to make you behave and do things safely. And I can remember doing a 12-12 pitch, which is, you know, your A-frame. And all we did was stuck some eye bolts at the top and had rope hanging down. And we were, you know, we were running across swinging. But that didn't bother me because, you know, I had something in my hand and it was flat under my feet. There was a surface.
That's good. Gotta ask you this, Amy. How many hours a day do you work? Like you do 8-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts, 12 hours, or just depends on the job?
Depends on the job. So I'm my own contract. I own my own company. So deadlines always dictate. I find that, so I can remember times where I worked 16 hours, 27 days straight. But then when you get time off, you crash and burn. I think you lay in bed for 8 days straight after a shift like that. But it really just is dictated by time, you know, deadlines. All of a sudden you work until 3 a.m. on a house that, you know, they need it done and it's going to turn over or something on the weekends. So, and unfortunately, all the finishers, they're the ones who end up dealing with that time crunch. So all the delays that happen throughout the course of the job, they trickle down and all the pressure gets laid on us poor finishers.
Now you're from Alberta. Do you go out of provinces or most of your jobs inside the province of Alberta?
So most of my work's been in Alberta just because I'm born and raised here, but I've worked in BC, Manitoba, Ontario. Manitoba, I got recruited. So my ex's family was from there. So I had a contacts there and I actually got recruited to go do some elevators. It was 4-foot tall, big fancy stuff. So they recruited me out there to do those at City Place. And then I got recruited to Penticton to work in an all-female crew. So yeah, I've worked all over.
What's the name of your company again? And the colors and just tell us how important is it to brand and marketing and as a woman, how many challenges do you have as a business owner and entrepreneur?
So the company's name is Pink, anagram for Perfect Installations, No Kinks.
Okay.
And again, that was really brought on early on. I used to have a name, it was Tooth and Nail, and it didn't work. People were calling, wanting to talk to the owner, and that was where I really first started seeing the sexism.
Okay.
So then it got Pink. That got rid of a lot of people. They wouldn't call. They had a problem with that. And then the branding stuff. Now, me myself, I have almost always worked alone. Like I had my kid working with me for a while, and my ex would support me sometimes, you know, on little odds and ends to get jobs wrapped up. But so I was small enough that most of my work was just good, solid work, and then word of mouth. So I never really advertised. It was always just word of mouth and working. You go to the flooring stores and stuff, you know, they're just throwing it to you and then that's easy. But anything through the private company, it was really, you know, like I said, just doing a really good job and getting word of mouth to spread.
Do you find sexism has kind of shrunk or is it still the same?
So it's still there, but you're getting that younger generation in now who to them it's normal. So I worked for a kid in Winnipeg who, you know, he was 27, 28, something like that. And he would stop and pay attention because he wasn't a tile setter. So he would actually was willing to look at what I was doing and take advice and try and learn that way. But to him, it was just, he was raised in this generation where it was normal that a woman would be in the trades. And so, you know, so that's my favorite now to work for. If I'm going to sub out to somebody, I like the young guys because the old guys can still be a little bit staunchy. But, you know, I'm rude and crude and I've been doing this long enough that I can usually talk my way in pretty good and be able to work with them through it. But you have to be pretty, you know, the trick is they're dirty. So you have to get dirtier, raunchier. And then that's, you know, that's how you make it in the trades for a female.
Now, running your own business, have you gotten it on social media and a website too?
I had it at one point, but I'm so non-techie that it just, you know, I think somewhere in my Facebook there's pictures and it's somewhere linked, but no, really, like I said, I was lucky because you got to remember, like I had one job that was in a 13 point something $1 million home and I was there for a year and a half. So, I didn't need to source out the work. And as a one-man crew or close to it, how many jobs am I pumping out in a year? Maybe, depending, like you go in and do backsplash, it's quick, but you're maybe only pumping it out 20 jobs a year, 30 jobs a year, depending on size and stuff. So yeah, I social media, I'm pretty lacking on any of it. So I've been lucky that way because now, so now I'm starting to urge towards shifting out of it just because of wear and tear on the muscles, and 30 years is a long time doing one thing.
That's amazing. It's amazing. Just talking to you, Amy, how much you have a passion. And I think whatever career you're in, I think it's important to have a passion. And to 30 years, man, that's amazing. I've only been doing this for 6 years, but I got to ask you this. I don't know a lot about the tile industry. What has been your most difficult job so far? And what drives Amy into doing this?
Believe it or not, the most difficult job, I swear, was like a 20-foot backsplash. It was the tile. So it was this geometric triangle pattern. But it's hard to explain, but so when you get those mosaic tiles, like the smaller ones on a sheet, but these ones only had 3, not 4 rows. So the rows didn't even out. So it wasn't white, black, and then white, black. It was white, black, white, white, black, white. And then the triangles, and they went on an angle. And I don't know what to tell you, but that rocked my mind trying to get that pattern locked down. I'd go down to the wet side, make cuts, come up, and the pattern was wrong. It was either over on the triangle or the white was down, not the, it rocked my world. That's, and I mean, it was like 18 square feet. It was mind blowing. With that said, I mean, I've done some pretty complicated designs, when you start getting into like these master showers and stuff where it's a big walk-in shower and they've got inlays, and then they've got wainscoting running around the room, and then the floors have to line up somehow with the walls to look good and centered, and that's got some kind of a mosaic or accent strip on capping it at the top, and all of it's got to go around the vanity and around the tub and into the shower and everything and look good. I've done bathrooms that were complete. I did one bathroom that was a herringbone. So that's where you see hardwood, where it's like the V's stacked, and the whole thing was herringbone on the walls everywhere. I'm really good at herringbones, and that was unfortunate because I got stuck doing all the herringbones, and they don't pay as much, which is unfortunate. But they pay good, but not as fast as just the cookie cutters. So.
Now, you've been doing this for 30 years now. What are some of the current tile trends for people out there like myself who don't know a lot about this?
Okay, so we're moving away from the grays. We're going back into the browns and the more earthy tone.
Really?
Yeah, that's starting to shift again. Yeah, so you're seeing that more. So, if you've got the old, Brazilian cherry wood, just wait. It's coming back. You'll be in style again soon. Stuff like, okay, you remember the accent strips, the stripe that went through?
Yes.
Now I call more color blocking. So you'll have a wall that's a different tile, and then rather than a stripe running through, one wall will be a different tile altogether, and then the other walls will be like your subway or something. So it tends. I call it color blocking. I don't know if that's the technical term, but to me that's what it looks like. It's you're working in chunks for an accent strip instead of this thing running through everywhere. Big tile, obviously, that's been growing for a while. Like when I first started, it was all 13-inch tall, and then these 12 by 24s came out and stuff. Now it's 24 by 24. The bigger, the better. That's always. And then the stuff like the accent strips, like the mosaics and stuff, that really varies. They go from big to small to big. Just that changes more yearly. It takes decades for like a whole trend, like the gray to brown. That can take like a couple decades to kind of make that shift. Or a decade, whereas as sort of like the accent strip, each year is a new trend. Just look at what's coming out new and fresh, and that'll be the new trend for that year. And colors. Like I don't know what this year. I know last year was blue. Oh no, this year's green, isn't it? Yeah, green's the trend this year. So it's really just look at the magazines, see what they're popping out, and that'll kind of tell you what's happening.
Do you have any plans to expand your company at some point?
No, actually, but I'm thinking about shutting it down. So,
Wow.
I'm almost 50. It's hard on the elbows. And honestly, I don't love the idea of hiring people because tile, when you mess it up, it's an expensive fix. So it was one thing when I was responsible for my own work If I made a mistake, I had to eat the cost. But you get someone in and who messes it up, and that can be, it's as much to tear out the tile as it is to install it. And then until you got to buy the tile again. And yeah, it's an expensive boo-boo. So I think for me, I'll always try and maybe do like some of the smaller jobs, but I think 30 years, maybe.
It's a pretty good run.
Yeah, and I'm really good at the sales because I understand the industry so well. I did the sales a couple of times just because I lost my house in the High River flood. And then we were moving around. So I actually went into sales, got a house up by Red Deer and did that. And I was really good at it. But that's because I understand the full construction process. And so it's easy to build confidence with clients and stuff and get them to sort of want me to, because you manage the projects that way. And so it was, I closed over 80% of my bids. So I could always go back to that, or I'm trying to work on a children's book. The arm wrestling, I might go tour Europe with the arm wrestling. So we'll see where the future takes me.
How satisfying is it to help people and to see your final work when the project's done? How satisfying is it?
Yeah, you take pride in it. I've done some jobs that were pretty complicated, and I step back and I'm like, not everybody could do that. And over the years too, I figured out little tricks that make it easier, right? That you didn't know 10 years ago or whatever. Yes, working with the client. I love my clients. I do. I always end up falling in love with my clients, and then, you drift apart when the job's over, which is always sad for me. I hate the end, right? But it's really fun because they don't understand the process very often. And so a lot of times you really have to kind of talk them down from these grand ideas that they have into something a little more realistic, but that's still meeting their needs. Budget, that always, they have great ideas, but often budget isn't meeting what their ideas are taking them to. So you get them narrowed down, you get them to something that they like and accept. By then you've probably hopefully built good enough confidence, because now you're going into their home and tearing it apart. It takes some trust. And then at the end, now there's a funny stage, because usually by the time I'm getting in, if I'm just doing the finishing, if it's a bigger project, like just a bathroom, I'll do on my own. But if it's I'll do full basement stuff. But if it's a big project and I'm just coming in at the end, they're so excited to see me, because now it's the finishing, it's the bling. Then about halfway through, they're sick of me. They want me out, but they've been doing 8 months of renovations, right? And then when I'm done, they love me again, and it's so great. Thank you. So there's kind of this little wave of, they do get sick. But again, the trickle effect from all the previous trades ahead of you. And the projects most often are delayed. It's very, very rare this a project goes as planned from start to finish to dates. You get that, you're extremely lucky. So I always say add 30%. Add 30% on your budget, add 30% on your time, and then you're pretty safe.
Now, when somebody contacts your company about a job, how is the process? Do they pay you up 100%, or do they pay 50%? How does that work?
I'm not bonded. So usually what I do, just sometimes if I've worked with clients for a while, then it becomes relevant. But because I'm not bonded, which is an insurance, the government will step in and pay them back if I take off or something. So because I'm not bonded, usually what I'll do is I'll purchase the materials, and then I get paid for the materials when I drop them off on site. And then because I'm small peanuts, I don't have a big budget, I'll usually would go about 4,000 or 5,000 was sort of the max I could afford to lose. So once I had done about $4,000 or $5,000 worth of work, then I would collect a payment. So if it was a $10,000 job, I'd make a payment collection somewhere in the middle, and then one at the end.
Have you ever had a client in your 30 years kind of try to not pay you for your work?
So I was really lucky until last year. And then last year, I don't know what happened, but I had a couple of, I had one guy. So it was really unfortunate. So it was with a flooring store, and it was a commercial job. So it was a couple of bathrooms. So I went in, but I was going to Mexico. So I had like 5 days to do, and there's walls done in these commercial bathrooms, and stalls. So like you got 6 toilet holes, and so I busted my butt to get this thing done in the 5 days. And then I went to Mexico, and when I came back, the guy whose project it was, he started causing problems. And I did some research on him, and he was known for it. So he'd get the trades to come in and then do all this work, and then wouldn't pay them. So that was unfortunate. I lost about $5,000 on that job. And then like I had one woman, I could tell that she was starting to things got a little weird, so it started out as a 2-day job. She was selling the house. She just needed to pay it done. Then I looked at it, I was like, that's bigger than you thought. That's more than 2 days. We're going to go 4 days. And then when I got there, the mudding and stuff that was so bad that I was like, why are we even painting this? You might as well just leave it. Or we have to fix the mudding, patch it. So she did. So now we're at a week job. So two a week. So it goes from, $800 to $3,000. So I could tell by the end she was starting to get there's some little red flags. So basically I stayed at the house and I didn't leave. And I just was working on deficiencies. She had showed up and she was quite upset that I was still there, which didn't make any sense. And then she had paid me almost out, but there was some deficiencies or whatever. She wanted to walk through. So we held back $500. And then all I did, because she was selling, I had the advantage that you don't want your house liened. So I just put on there to avoid any action taken against the property. Make sure that this is paid by the date we agreed upon. And I should probably talk to a realtor. And I think for $500, it wasn't worth the hassle because it's pretty easy to run down and go get a lien dropped on a property. So
how would you describe yourself as a painter?
Pretty good. I mean, so tile I'm exceptionally fast at because I've done it so consistently so long. I'm actually pretty good at mosing. I'm good at mudding. I'm good at, drywalling because the shape's the same, concept as tile. Good at painting, but I'm not as fast as someone who does that all day, every day. I'm still pretty quick, but yeah, someone who does it all day. Like I guys who mud every day, man, they're amazing to watch. It's like done. Me, I'm like, so yeah, I'm good. I cut very well. I'm not too messy, but I wouldn't be as fast as I'm all the time painter.
Amy, have you thought about starting up your own podcast show in the future?
I've thought about that. So that's a little bit of why I'm playing. So it's interesting with the TikTok. I went through some stuff. So I was working and then I had an accident and I had to come back because my medical was out of Alberta. And I was in a bit of a funk. And I had a friend who was like, just, do something out of your comfort zone. And I used to be a snooper on social media. So I wouldn't even like things because I didn't want people to know I was there. And I didn't post anything because it's none of your business. And then, so, he said, he challenged me and said, do something I do. So that's what I did. I did my first TikTok post. And, that was only, 10, 11 months ago. And so that's been a lot of sort of, I really like the editing. I like editing the videos and putting them together. So this has sort of been the introduction to, I don't know where that will take me, but certainly podcasts, that type of thing, that's very possible. They're all being considered as I get better at, like, I still have to do things like I don't even have anything. You've got them all linked, right? YouTube, Instagram. I don't have even that. I'm not on YouTube yet. So I've got a lot to do before I'm starting to really take any kind of persona on real seriously. This is right now just kind of building up the followers and learning the tech.
Yeah, it's a lot of work and it's taken me a lot of time, but you just have to be consistent. And one thing too, when I started this, I had all my settings on private and people were saying, Chris, you want to get noticed in radio and in the media industry, you have to open up to public settings. So,
and that's hard, I mean,
it's hard to do, and I've done it. And a lot of people for the most part have been supported, but also I've had some haters and skeptics and negative people too. So I don't get into it with them. But yeah, when you open yourself up publicly, you're also going to get some bad apples occasionally too.
I get penis pictures, Chris.
Oh,
a lot.
Oh, block.
Yeah, that's all I do when they come through.
Block.
Like on Facebook, in 1 week I went from 500 followers to 6,000 in 1 week, and
wow.
it was insane. Like I couldn't do it fast enough, so I ended up getting a lot. I was just accepting, right? And that was a mistake. But it got so I couldn't use my phone because they were all calling on Messenger. So I'd be trying to use my phone and a Messenger call would come up. And then I'd close it and I'd be doing it Messenger call like every 10 seconds. Like it was a problem. I finally posted a thing that said, stop calling me and stop sending me your penis pictures. So that was fun. That's interesting. There's some interesting people out there, Chris.
For me, I just try to be myself, but I also try to produce good content. It's like with my shows, it's taken me a while, and the more consistent you do it, the more good quality you do it, the numbers will come, because I know too many people are like, I didn't get big numbers, I'm done with this. They give up, and you got to just keep working at it. Social media is a full-time. I'm a social media content creator. It's a full-time job. Amy, before we get into your music career and arm wrestling career too, can you just tell us 3 words to describe yourself?
Okay. Blunt, loud, and honest.
Good choices. And before we get into the music thing, I wanted to play one of your songs off your TikTok page. Is that okay?
That's sure, you betcha.
And how can our audience follow you on TikTok, Amy?
So on TikTok, I'm Zamy Time, ZAMY time, one word, and you'll find me.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this right now. I'm the audio guy, so if you can't hear the audio, then we'll fire the audio guy, which is me.
Okay, perfect.
One second.
Chris, never
this is how I met you, through this song on your TikTok page. Yes. Yeah.
Song. Yay!
So I'm gonna play it right now. 1 second, courtesy of your TikTok page.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just for fun. He was a stranger, and I met him in a dirty little bar. We were drinking and smoking and then drinking some more. He was a stranger, and I met him in a dirty little bar. I knew right from that moment in that dirty little bar. It only took a second for my heart to spin before. He took me home. I met his mother and his little boy too. There was loving and kissing and then more loving through. He was a stranger, and I met him in a dirty little bar. We talked about the world and all that we would do. He told me about his dreams and how I could see them too. The weekend ended, and so I left him for the life I had before. And now I sit here and I wonder about that stranger in the bar. He was a stranger, and I met him in a dirty little bar. He was a stranger in a dirty little bar. He was a stranger, and I met him in a deep, dark, dingy little dirty bar. He was a stranger. Ta-da!
Thoughts on that song, Amy?
Well, I wrote that a long time ago. So when I was in my 20s, I moved to an island on the BC coast, and I had a band. And so I never really learned how to play. I had my kid was about 2, single mom, and that was really fun because I could write these songs, and then their talent, their musical, would make it into a song. Because when I played, it tends to be just pretty repetitious, and then you get the talent behind you. It starts to do the solos and tells you where to stop and go up and change it a bit. And so that was really neat. It was neat to have a band and have my songs really become songs. So then, just with a kid, work, life, floods, I really put it down and didn't touch it for a long, long time. And then as empty nesterhood has come in, I've had the luxury of kind of picking up some of the old loves again of my hobby life, and the guitar is one of them. I'm still terrible at playing it, but back to sort of writing music. I got to learn more chords though, and a new strums, because I should, if I have a band, it should be called 4 chords, because all my songs are in the same 4 chords because they're what I know. But yeah, so honestly, pretty proud of it for the amount of experience and stuff I had. It does sound better when I get like I said, the other musicians behind me, but yeah, it was fun.
I find music is a form of therapy, and it's music's a form of therapy. It's very powerful, and it's also cheaper than seeing a shrink too.
It is. It is. Yes. Yes. If you, I'm suspecting going to bombard me into playing one, so you'll see the one, the song, the newest one that I've been working on. It's you'll understand the therapy in it when you hear it.
Are you able to tell us a little bit about this new song?
Well, it's for when you've had one of those days. It could very well offend some people. So usually if I do play it, if you don't like it, feel free to move along. It's meant to, it's satirical. It's meant to be fun, but it talks about God and having a bad day.
We all do. We all go through it.
Maybe asking God for maybe the wrong favors and stuff.
Where did you get your musical ability from? Did anyone else in your family have it?
None. No, just friends. It's really, when I was in grade 7, we got put into options, and I didn't fill mine out, and so they stuck me in whichever, and band was one of them. And I was so mortified. That was so geeky, and I fought hard to get out of band, and I so wish I would have. I don't know how to read music. I like it. So I have a really good ear. I can kind of sing a song and stuff really quickly after one listen and stuff like that. So I have a good ear. I can even kind of guess where a song's going to go, just with flow and everything. So I'm really good at that. So I'm sure if I put the work into it, I could be pretty good with it. But that takes time and work. So just gotta keep going.
Do you just play at home, and have you played at any local bars and clubs yet?
So there's when I was younger, I performed at like festivals and stuff like that with the band. So lately I've like at house parties, I've played a bit. I'm supposed to, it's kind of been hit and miss, just connecting with friends. There's an open mic night, just a little coffee house up in the Northwest here that I've been trying to get to. It's Wednesdays. So one of these Wednesdays I'll get there and do that. And then I've got a friend he's trying to kind of burst into the music industry. So I'm trying to help him. He's been more with confidence. And so, but tour around and just kind of jam with the different bands and stuff like that. So that's really kind of the limit of it. Nothing real out there professional.
No plans in the future to put some of your music on live streaming platforms like Apple and Spotify?
Well, I mean, see where it goes, right? Again, I think to get to that point, I'm going to have to find the musicians behind me. So first is, I got to get myself with a bit better skill. Just, brush it. I was better back when I was 20 because I was playing it more consistently. So I need to get back into that routine, get myself playing better. Again, you always sound better when the talent's behind you. So once I can get these sort of sounds worked out, then get that band behind me, and then sky's the limit wherever it goes.
What are your thoughts on the shrinking CD market? Do you see CDs eventually disappearing altogether?
Yeah, that's it's the way the world works. I mean, they'll do a way back up. I mean, VHS tapes are worth a lot of money now, so they'll have that vintage collectability to them. But they're done.
What are your thoughts on vinyl records that are coming back?
Well, again, that's a vintage kind of, it's a sound and so do I think CDs? I don't think CDs have that unique, any unique sound they had was a skip. It's not that crackle. And so I don't know that I see CDs. They're kind of more the nostalgia, right? So, from my generation, the CDs, I had a Discman, man, and that thing jumped, horrible. Skipped constantly as he walked. I loved it still, but so it's more the nostalgia that's bringing that way back in. I don't think it's any kind of unique sound or anything, which is what drives the LP market.
What makes a good song nowadays, and who are some of your favorite artists?
Oh, I've got I like all music. I'm not a big country fan. I like old country, like I love Johnny Cash and Dolly Parton, and they're the bomb. But
the newer stuff you're not a fan of.
Not so much, I can sing to the Garth Brooks song and a little bit here and there, but no, I'm not. That's just me. I mean, I live in Alberta. There's a lot of country here, but it's not my thing. Otherwise, I really like all music. I love reggae and rap and jazz and funk and so. But then I get selective within each genre. Good song. I don't know. You know what? 95% of life's luck. So you just happen to pump the song out at the right time when things, are happening and it catches the attention. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, obviously it's got to have a beat and stuff like that, but there's a pretty wide eclectic range of top hits out there. So I think a lot of it's just timing and luck, you know, and you have a good song. There's a lot of good songs that don't make it super big. So,
and music's very powerful. It's sometimes you hear certain songs, it can bring you back to the 60s, the 70s,
yeah.
the 80s, can bring you back to happy times, but also there's sometimes I hear a song and I get sad.
Hey, sometimes you use the music to pull the emotion out. You know, we got to get those emotions out of us, right? I've had breakups where Adele was on them, you know, a lot.
What's the name? What's the name of your dog? I'm a huge dog.
Oh, okay. So here, come here, Mabel.
What's the name of your dog? I volunteer at a humane. Mabel.
This is Mabel, but I call her Potato because she poops a lot.
Oh, how old is she?
Mabel will be 3 in a couple of weeks.
Wow, she's still a baby.
She's
still a baby.
Puppers, and she gets all like self-conscious when are you scared? I'm not going to drop you.
Yeah, I volunteer at a local humane society. So I walk dogs.
Mabel came from, her mom was rescued and then had the litter.
Thank God.
And then so Mabel, they had to punch her nose, the cartilage, and so I got her for the cost of that. So she was a really good price for Frenchie. But
beautiful looking dog.
Yeah, she's
dogs are number one.
Are weird. You know what? I'm not sure. I think Frenchies are dogs, Chris. I think they're pigs that, you know, slipped on a fur coat and cut the tail off and pushed the snout in and
no. Dogs are number one.
Yeah.
Dogs are number one. Anyone that likes dogs has got to be a good person.
Well, I have a hairless cat too, so I like the weird
cats are okay too. I have a cat named Latte. She's a Siamese cat.
Yeah. Oh, you
very spoiled. Very spoiled.
Attitude of like the Sphinx. They're spicy.
Latte looks like a grumpy cat.
Right.
She knows how to play the system.
Well, and
very spoiled.
Guys are just bred to be cute. That's their sole purpose.
Yes.
So, that's what you get.
Mabel. Make sure you give Mabel a treat for me.
I will do that. Mwah. Potato.
You're a star now. You're a star, Mabel. You're a star. I'll have to edit the video and get Mabel in there too. But hey, gotta ask you this, Amy, before we get into the arm wrestling. How would you describe yourself as a singer and a songwriter?
So I like poetry. Like I like writing children's books too. So there's something about the poem, the rhythm, right? You know, and so very simplicity. Like I'm not Edgar Allan Poe with the 8 Mile Long, and you know, it's much more of that simple rhythm, the rhyming pattern. I'm good at it. I like it. So just when I have the guitar in my hand, I find a new strum or a new, you know, way of lining up the chords or something. I just start to write, and sometimes it pulls off. So, you know, I've got some in the past that, you know, I've got some I can't play to. Again, I need musicians to figure out because they're not in my 4-chord realm. You know, like I was cleaning a house one time and there was an Eric Clapton song on, but I had a lot of instrumental in it, and I was able to write a whole song in that instrumental to the Eric Clapton song. But I can't play it. So I have a long way to go on the whole musician thing, or I need a rockin' band.
You get a lot of your inspirations from your life experiences, and maybe one day you can write a song for me about me.
Hey, you know, I I don't know how appropriate it is, but like I've got one, bless his heart. So I wrote one called F You Mexican, but I wrote it for a Mexican and he loved it. I mean, he taped it and I'd watch him sitting on the couch giggling, and it was always in satire, right? Always meant to be in good humor. But you know, so some of them are just really for fun. And then, you know, some actually kind of hit a mark and I get reactions to and impress people. And then those are the ones I tend to run with a little more and perform.
What's your favorite song to perform on the guitar?
Probably Dirty Little Bar, just because I'm so comfortable with it. I'm getting pretty used to some of the other ones too, but like my strum, I really need to work on my strum. Like I've learned Horse with No Name, which is literally 2 chords. Okay. And that to sing to it, because when I play a cappella, I play my voice. I'm not playing a rhythm. I'm playing my voice. I play with my voice. So then that's how my strum's always the same. So I really do have to diversify or again, like I said, you get the music behind you. It's kind of okay. I get melded out in it, but yeah. So So life experience for sure. And like I said, just more time with the guitar to kind of work through some of those required skills. Because singing while you're playing is pretty difficult.
By the way, I tried karaoke 6 years ago in New York City. I don't have any musical talent. I ended up emptying out a bar, so I had a lot of
They're the best. The people who do
the
it. I love
karaoke.
them. Yeah, the ones that get up
Yes,
and suck and are awful. They're the best, especially when they get up 3 times because they just
I had 5 drinks in me, so it makes it easier.
perfect.
You become braver when you have 4 or 5 drinks
Oh,
in
I'm
you.
pretty sure when I started karaoke, I needed that. Now I've been
Yeah.
doing it so long, and I just goof around up there.
Favorite karaoke song?
What's that favorite karaoke? So I'm really good at like Amy Winehouse, like Back to Black. I sing that very well.
Yeah.
Probably most fun one to sing. Probably like Gnarls Barkley, Crazy. But really, my thing in karaoke is to try not to sing the same song. So sometimes I'll hear a song like that day and I'm like, oh, it's like I knew it 10 years ago. And I'm like, wait, I'm going to sing that. And I get up and I bomb it because I haven't heard it in 10 years. And I mean, who cares? People at the pub don't care. That's the fun of karaoke. So yeah, my mission really, but when I want to impress, yeah, it's my go-tos are usually Amy Winehouse, Tracy Chapman. There's those few staples.
Now, you're the first guest I've had on. I've had 700 shows and I've done 1,400 interviews, but you're the first guest I have on that's kind of an arm wrestling champion. How did you get into arm wrestling?
Well, you're being very generous on champion. So the arm wrestling is really all it is I arm wrestled my brother and my kid had an arm wrestle and just at my brother's house. And then I was like, I want to do it. So I arm wrestled my brother and I won. So that's the first video that I posted. And then I happened to be at a party. It wasn't even a party. There was a couple of friends there. I was the odd one out. I didn't know anybody there except the one girl brought me. And he was a pretty big guy. He was 6'3" and, big dude. And I was like, let's have an arm wrestle. And he's the second video and I beat him twice. And I shock myself every time. But really, so I'm not going out challenging guys with 24-inch biceps. There's a point where physics takes over. But yeah, so really it's no champion. It's just, I've asked a half dozen guys and some girls have challenged me. Guys are harder because once they find out I want to film it, a lot will back out. But yeah, and I've just been lucky so far as to have won all of them.
How often do you arm wrestle?
Oh, it's sometimes twice a month. Sometimes it's not for 2 months. It just depends, if I'm out and if I find someone who's willing to do it. And because I do get a lot of no's. A lot of guys don't want.
Wow. If I ever meet you, I'd be happy to try go up against you.
I'll go left or right. It's all up to you. We can do a thumb war if you're better than that.
I'll be under your thumb.
Perfect. That's like him.
Absolutely. Who's been your toughest opponent so far?
So
both male and female.
The last video I posted, he was the toughest. He was.
Yeah,
he was a hard worker. The third one too, the one that hit 40,000 likes or whatever, or hits, that one he was the third arm wrestle, and he was a small guy. There was, and he was tough. I was working hard to win that one, and then the last guy, the rest of them. Sometimes it surprises me. They got really big, buffy arms, tall guy and stuff, and like the brown fella's Zach, I think his name was. He was pretty easy, so. Which surprised me.
How much has being in the contracting tile industry helped? Because lifting, that's got to help you. You don't even need to go to a gym when you're doing that kind of a job.
Well, arm wrestling. So if I do this European tour, I have to do some training because it's a lot of it is grip. So which I get with the tile from pinching the tile and laying it and stuff. So I do get a lot of grip work, snipping. Holding the towel out to lay it, that's a lot of pressure kind of out. But really, I need to be doing those flexes. I was told I should be doing these ones with weight in your hand. So if I do this tour, I need to actually do a bit of training because it is technique, a lot of it. And I have good technique, but very untrained technique.
Do you see are there a number of female arm wrestlers out there too?
There are when you start to look. And I mean, the girls who I arm wrestled challenged me, they were in, good sports. When you start to research it, which obviously as time's gone on, I've looked into it more and more and some of those exercises and stuff like that. So yes, it's the same with women as men. The range is, anywhere from, your little pickly, 5'4", 100-pound girl, right up to a woman who must, with arms like this, who must be, 200 pounds of just solid muscle. So, I mean, there's like, you're in your weight sort of with arm wrestling. I mean, with right technique, you can really go outside your weight category and win. But that's
how competitive is it? How competitive is it?
So when you get into it, so I've only been once, so this has been part of the process with the. So there's an arm wrestling club here, and so there's a club. They meet twice a week. They support each other. They arm wrestle. So it's when you start getting into the world levels, like it's pretty serious. There's strict rules, and people can test if they take it serious. So it's a sport. So guys in their sports, girls too if they're in them, but yeah, it's a sport, and they want to win, and you get your favorite. You want them to win. So,
what's your strongest arm? The left arm or right arm?
Right arm is the strongest. But
for me, it's the left. For me, it's the left.
Oh yeah. So it's funny because it's also the elbow that's going. So if I am not careful, I can blow my elbow out doing the right arm. Left, I'm pretty strong, but right arm's my dominant arm, so it tends to be the favorite.
How would you describe yourself?
Both, and I win at both. So there you go.
How do you describe yourself as an arm wrestler?
Persistent. Cocky. I'm cocky.
Well, if we ever, when we finally meet sometime, we'll have to have a best of 3.
Oh, for sure. And then we'll go into leg. I get everybody. Okay, do you leg wrestle? People ask weird things. But yes, and like I said, my son's out and he's in Oshawa now. So at some point, Chris, it's going to be on.
Okay, deal. Best of 3.
Best of 3.
Amy versus CDP.
And we'll even give you 2 lefts.
Okay.
2 lefts.
Deal.
Okay.
Deal. That's curious. And as we wrap up this show, you mentioned in your bio you're a little bit of a self comedian. This just from your experiences, or just something that you've always had in your comedy?
I'm just a smart ass, so I'm pretty, and I use it a lot to alleviate. I'm good at kind of picking things out in the moment to kind of, if stress is building, to try and pop the stress up a little bit. Probably because it makes me uncomfortable. So humor is a great way to kick people's asses out of that tense.
And it's another form of therapy too.
Yeah. And I'm the years of construction working with the guys, like I'm really raunchy. And I believe it or not, so a lot of my set has to do, it is based around sex, but it's because I find it really, really weird. And all honestly, that there's so much voodoo around sex. Like we need sex for the human race to go on. It's like a biological needing thing that we have to have for the human race to go on. And so I find it really odd that there's all this voodoo and shame and stuff associated to it. So I like to push boundaries a little bit with that one. It's like, I feel like we should talk about it like dinner. How was dinner? What'd you guys have? How was the sex? What'd you guys do? It should really be in my mind, a very open and casual.
Have you thought about doing it in front of an audience, or do you just prefer to do it at home in front of family and
audience,
friends?
So it tends to be, it's just out and about, I'm punchline all the time. But yes, it's definitely on my list. So I'm putting together a set. But I'm good at the banter too. So I would like to get up and actually just mostly banter with the audience. But I think I need a set behind that just in case. So working on the set, and then at some point I'll get the kahunas to stand up there and risk not getting laughed at.
How satisfying is it making other people laugh too?
It's good. Well, I mean, I think I'm funny, so I don't really care what you think. No, it's good. I like to make people laugh. To me, it's kind of physical. I see humor as an integral part of evolution. So we have to be able, for us to evolve, like in things like sexism and all of these things, we have to be able to laugh at ourselves so that we can look at those things to change them. And without the laughter, I always talk about Andrew Dice Clay. I mean, he would be so useless now. No one would get him. His act would, and at the time I wasn't a big fan of him, but I know what he was testing, that sexism, that's what he was targeting. And, now we're way further along because of those kinds of, we're bringing attention to how stupid it is. And then we can.
I've had a number of comedians on from Canada, the US, and the UK, and I've even had a couple of female ventriloquists on too, and that is not easy to do that with puppets.
No, I don't think. I am so animated. I don't know what I can do. I'm eyebrows and eyes, and You know, so hands.
We can do an act.
I
We
do
can do an act
classes all
together.
the time, right? So
We
I'm
can
not
do an
sure.
act together.
Yeah, well, if you just stand there and I can stay behind the counter, behind the curtain, then you won't know it's. But yeah, I don't think that's a skill that I completely am dumbfounded by and admire. Good on them.
Well, if I keep getting shorter, I'll be a puppet.
You can sit on my lap now, Chris. That's fine.
Okay. Anyways, Amy, I have a viewer. He's a friend of mine too. He's watching from Kitchener, Ontario. His name's Evan Goo. That's his Facebook name. His
Okay.
first name is really Evan, but he wants to ask you, Amy, what does Amy do when she's completely stressed out?
Oh, so when Amy is completely stressed out, like your normals, I pace. So to get myself wound down, if I'm kind of by myself, so I'll go out, right, and get. So I'm a real extrovert. Which means I'm also an extreme introvert when I go to recharge. But I'll go out and I meet everybody, and that kind of lets me get sort of that energy out. I also I do art, so. I sit and cut paper and draw, and that gives me a nice focus in on a single item to stop that whirlwind in my head and to kind of, it's meditative, right? I'm not good at meditation. I've tried. I'm still working on it. I'm not great at it. So I need something to zone me in. So the art does that a lot. The playing the guitar.
I want to say thank you to Evan for his question.
Thank you, Evan.
He loves his sports too, by the way. He loves his hockey, baseball. He loves the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Arm
He likes
wrestling
the
now, Evan. I'm just saying.
Actually, yeah, I think you should. He's a tall guy. He's about 6'3", by the way.
Oh my! Well, like I said,
6'3".
Number 2 was about 6'3", and I took him down twice.
So
you know what the most fun is? It's all about the smack talk. It really is.
Absolutely. And as we wrap this show up, Amy, what's some fun facts or a fun fact about yourself?
Fun fact. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I can't narrow it down. What is a fun fact about me? I love little kids. You know what? My favorite thing in the whole wide world is a tantrum. I just think they're great. And I'm so animated and stuff, kids like me, and tantrums, I'm just like, to me, that's a little person learning the boundaries of the world. I'm like, you go. And if you think that's going to get you the gum, you're wrong. But I like, you give her. You fight that world and find out what it works. And, so little kids, tantrums are my favorite. And yeah, I am crazy energy. You'll know you'll know I've come in the room if I've come in the room.
Evan has one more question for you. He wants to know how much hate do you get from your arm wrestling? Like, have you had somebody that's really disliked you over defeating them?
I get the troll, like it's fake. Okay. I also get some real fans who are like, there's no way that's fake. So they come to my bat. I don't have to. I've had a couple where I just said, at the end of the day, it's like, can't wait till you're in the area. I'll stand by my arm wrestle. Come bring it on. It's pretty easy to sit and bash and call fake when you can't follow it up. So I never let it bug. And for the most part, it is really, like I said, if I do this European tour, I got some guys whose arms are this big. I'm not going to win, but I still smack talk them, and it's going to be really that's about going and meeting them and spending the day with them and, seeing where they're from and getting to know my TikTok peeps. I think that would be really cool to actually kind of tour around and meet them. And yeah, some of them will slaughter me. I'm not going to meet that bicep. That's not going to happen. It's bigger than my head.
Have you had some people take selfies with you yet?
Sure. Yeah. No. Okay. No. The girls, yes. The guys, no. They don't take selfies with me after I win. It'll come.
Absolutely. Hey, Amy, what's next on your bucket list, and what makes the province of Alberta so special? I've not been out to Western Canada. I have to admit this. I've been more to that other country in the States than my own country. So what makes Alberta so special, and why somebody like myself should consider coming out to Western Canada?
You should come out. It's the unique. Okay, so Alberta's got mountains, foothills, prairies. Drumhill is a desert. So, you've got it all in one place, forest, right? It's all here, except water. There's a couple lakes, but water is the one. But you have enough water there. That's not what you need to come and see, right? But the mountains, you got to see them. If you haven't, it's I lived in Penticton for a while, and those aren't mountains; those are hills. So you got to see the real Rockies, Banff, Canmore. And they're like, just the weather. Have you ever experienced a Chinook? Try those. Those are pretty funky to live. They're neat. You know, you're -20 and the next day you're -1.
Wow.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. Careful for your joints. The pressure changes and stuff can wreak havoc on people with bad joints, but it's pretty neat. And the big skies, like when I lived in Penticton, when I would drive home, I'd get out of Canmore and then boof, there it was, just sky. You come out of in a place like that, the sky's up here, the sun sets up there. And then, you get on the prairies and the sun's down there and it is just all sky. So it's unique.
Evan wants to ask you one more thing. He says, come to Kitchener, Ontario, and we'll battle.
It is on. It's like I say, my kids out there. I'm right now. What's on the agenda is so here's the deal. I'm really doing this trip. It's a winging it type thing. There's not a lot of funds. I'm actually going to put a post out that's asking people so $25 because that'll be my reservation for the rail. I'll buy the rail and the plane, but I'm not going there with much. So this is real faith on personality and people and their giving. If I can't pull that off, then I'll probably do Mexico. I've got some. It's not going to be the same type of trip. I'd really like to do Europe. If not, I'll probably take off and just do beaches in Mexico and arm wrestle Mexicans for a couple months. Just get on the road and just have fun with it, right? So, but Kitchener. That's coming soon, my friend. It's on, Evan.
All right.
You better follow me there, Evan, and we'll start the smack talk now.
I think Evan's on Facebook. He's on Instagram and Facebook.
Evan Goog, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure he's on TikTok. So
okay.
Evan, if you're on TikTok, please follow Amy. And I don't know if he's on TikTok, but that's a good question.
So I'm Instagram and Facebook, Amy Zahorouski.
Yep.
So it's just my name.
Okay, definitely. Yeah. Finally, this is a segment where I wrap up with my guests. It's called Ask the Host CDP a Question segment. Do you have a question for me to put me on the hot seat?
Boy, what do I want to ask? Yes. What is the most disgusting thing you eat that you love and don't want to tell people about it?
Well, I do like sugar. I like cake. Well,
that's and not disgusting. I'm thinking like, what's that stomach food or?
Oh, poutine.
No, not poutine. Haggis. You eat haggis?
No.
Okay. So you've got like general food normals. Ever eat bugs?
Pardon me?
Have you ever eaten bugs?
No.
So you've never had little crickets or anything?
No bugs and no seafood.
Oh, you don't eat seafood. Oh well.
No.
I'm sorry.
I'm boring. When it comes to food, I'm boring. I play it safe.
Are you really?
I'm safe, yeah. I like my steak.
We already had the milk discussion, Chris.
Well, that's because I'm 53.
Well, I'm 149. Not that far behind you.
So, not much you can do about it.
Am I going to lose 3 inches in the next 3 years? Is that what's happening now?
Yeah. Just be nice to me, T.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, you're allowed to slap me there.
No, you're good. I think Evan's got one more comment. I guess.
I like Evan. Look me up.
Yes. Evan is not. He's on TikTok. Okay, Evan. I did not know that, Evan. So, Evan, follow Amy and me on TikTok as well.
Yeah, I will. It's on, Evan.
And Evan says, I don't know what this is.
Ganache. Oh, you hate Ganache. So
okay.
There's, the only thing I have this rule that you have to try everything once. So I have a friend who's Thai and she eats these bowls of white larvae. So I've never had that. And I know I'd have a hard time eating it, but I think I would do it, but you're eating maggots. Oh, yeah. That one, I've had grasshopper. I've done all that. And the one I really did that I will never eat again, the only food is chicken's feet. I will never, ever, ever eat that again. Tried it once.
So, but I'm trying to lose weight. So I have a dietitian and nutritionist coming on my show in a couple weeks too, because I find losing weight is not hard. It's keeping the weight off.
Yeah, it's it's a lifestyle change. Like my mom was diabetic and she cured her numbers with her diet.
Yeah, and it's sugar.
It's a lifestyle.
Because everything nowadays has so much sugar and
it's
salt
the fats
in it.
And everything. So it's how you eat it, right? Because you need the fats at certain times. It's complicated. get your dietitian. I don't know enough about it, but I do know that my mom she started vegan. That was too hard to maintain, but she was able to take her diabetic numbers and go to normal numbers with no medication at all. Just
doing media work too. I do a lot of standing and sitting around, so I've got to get back up, moving and stuff like that too.
Maybe you need the get with the walking thing where you're set up. It won't turn on unless you're doing the walking, Chris.
Yeah, so that's something I want to do. So I'm getting smaller in height, but I'm putting on more weight.
Well, next time we do dinner, I want to see walking with a towel.
Okay,
if
deal.
I stop, we're gonna shut off, guys.
Deal. Ideally, I'd like to lose 20 pounds. My goal, minimum 20. They say,
my weight goes up. In COVID, I was 170 pounds. So that was a lot of weight on me. That was an extra 30, 40 pounds. So.
The only good thing that came out of that pandemic was I found my new career. I used those 2 years and found myself a new career during the pandemic.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? See, that's where I started my children's book. We'll see where that goes. I got to get that one done too.
Congratulations.
Irons in the fire.
Do you have the name of the book name yet? Do you have a name for it?
I think it's just values. It's really about it stemmed from like Me Too and Black Lives, and I just sat there one day and I was like, God, if we just got one generation not to care, just don't care about any of it and just like people for who they are, we could fix all of this. And so this one's really directed about families, but it's some families are big, some families are small, some families have almost no one at all, sometimes there's one mom, sometimes there's two. So it's just a breakdown of any such family and what they can look like and who cares.
And that's what I love about this show is the stellar storytelling part, but the learning aspect and connecting with my guests. And I really enjoy doing this and meeting people through social media sites as well.
No, one of these days, Chris, I'm going to have to stick you on the chair because they're like, who's getting to know you, my friend? I mean, you've learned a lot of layers about me here, but I'm kind of wanting to peel back that little onion over there a little bit.
Well, at my height, he might have to put me somewhere else.
That's okay. We'll find a place. But yeah, I would love to almost reverse the roles one day and grill you, my friend.
You are a natural on camera, and honestly, if you do start up a podcast show, I think it would do quite well because you have.
I'll make you my first guest, but you're gonna have to tutor me through it, so it'll be perfect.
I behave absolutely, and I had people pay it forward to me when I started, and gave me some advice and tips, and I would like to do the same thing too. Since you're drinking wine, red or white wine?
This is okay. So red. But that's it. Okay, red it'll make the one. It's the one that'll make me sloppy if I drink too much of it. White, I'm a little more reserved. But if I prefer red. But summertime, hot summer day, you're gonna go for the wine spritzer,
And where I live here in Ontario is a wine country near Niagara Falls. That's where all the big wineries are in Canada.
I lived in Penticton, honey. I mean, that was what you did on the way home from work. You popped in some apples. So loved it. But yes, I would actually love to go do a wine tour if I get down there. Well, when I should say when I get down there. It's been a long time. I haven't been there since I was in my 20s because my grandparents were down there. Have been. But yeah, I'd love to go do a little wine tour down in Niagara and to check that whole section out. It's been a long time.
Deal. And finally, where can our audience follow you again on social media? And what's the best way of someone contacting you? And do you have any arm wrestling competitions coming up?
Well, so I do have 1-2 posts, so I'm trying to line that up sort of to get in gear for hopefully a push on this European tour. So that's coming soon. So there'll be an arm wrestle plus the begging for money. To get a hold of me, honestly, I get a lot of messages. So it can be, don't call me, please, on Messenger and stuff. I won't answer it if I don't know you. I just get too many calls, and a lot of them are penis pictures. So I still get quite a few of those, so I just stay away. So the best way really to get a hold of me is really honestly is to comment on my posts. Build a relationship with on the posts. Then we can get into the PMs and stuff a little easier. Sometimes the PMs work, but you're better luck to kind of get to know me through comments on the post. I always comment back. And yeah, often once we've been chatting a little bit, it's like, hey, let's chat.
And that's how we met, through TikTok and commenting on your posts and stuff like that. Yes, that's
right. Yeah. So it's the easiest way to. I love TikTok and I love all the social medias, but there's a lot of weird people out there. So to just kind of dilute it down and it's quality over quantity. That's
quality
right.
over quantity.
Yes,
So,
that's a nice way of putting it.
well, Amy, I want to say thank you so much for coming on tonight. I really appreciate this. And if you give me a little bit of time tonight, I will send you the full video, the
Love it.
audio, and I will edit the video into reels and clips because everybody's attention spans nowadays are
I
diminishing.
know.
So,
Under a
so,
minute is really the kicker, right? Yeah.
so it seems like the shorter the video, the more views.
Yeah, the more long views.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. So,
yeah. Okay,
yeah,
that's
I
great,
will.
Chris. Like, thank you, really, and thank you so much for putting up with my gong show just to get everything lined up.
No, no, this was
Really
great.
appreciate it.
Hey, this is great, and you have a unique story and a career, and yeah, I haven't had too many women contractors on my show before, arm
Well,
wrestlers. So,
tell you what, if you got any work you need, I do take workations. I've done that quite a few times actually, and I need to get out at some point to you too, Evan. I do need to get out to see my son probably in the spring. So,
well,
workation,
hopefully
always
we'll meet someday. Yes.
you bet, sweetie.
Okay, well, Amy, have a great night. We'll be in touch on social media, and I will send you this show video and audio very soon. I just need a little bit of time, and
You bet.
I will take care of that. But Amy, thank you so much. Continued success in your career and your business, and also with your book writing and music and comedy career too.
Oh, the other side. I know. I'm a real onion. Lots of layers here, Chris.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Amy. Have a great
Thanks
night,
for
and we'll
having
talk to
me,
you soon.
Chris. Yeah, you bet, sweetie. Thank you. Have a
You too.
wonderful rest of your weekend.
You too. Thanks, Amy.
Okay, bye, Evan.
Bye, Mabel.
Oh, yeah. She's locked in the bedroom. I can hear her.
Give her a treat. Okay, take care, Amy.
See you. Thank you.
All right, everybody, that wraps up season 12, episode 20 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. And I have another announcement to make. My next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by BarryCullen.com, is going to take place on Monday, December 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern with special guest Dr. Chanel Braden. Dr. Chanel Braden, she's a workplace conflict strategist and psychological safety expert in workplaces. So Dr. Chanel Braden will be my next guest on Monday, December 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 on the West Coast. And I want to say thank you again to my guest tonight, Amy Zahorouski, for coming on. She's a contractor, tile setter, and also a mother, a musician, songwriter, arm wrestling champion, and writing a children's book as well. So thank you so much to Amy for coming on here. And I do apologize to Amy if I did butcher her last name wrong. So I will work on that as well. So I'm looking forward to the next show this Monday, it's December 1st, Monday, December 1st. I made a boo-boo. So Monday, December 1st, 7 o'clock Eastern with Dr. Chanel Braden, again, workplace conflict strategist and psychological safety expert for those that work in the workplace that has toxic work environments. So it'll be a very interesting show to say the least. As for my guest Amy, you can follow her on her social media page. She is Amy on TikTok at Zamy ZAMY Time. Zamy Time on TikTok. It's on my graphics as well. And as always, you guys can check out my Cameo. If you're looking for a personalized video from CDP, go to cameo.com. I do happy birthdays, happy anniversary, Merry Christmas, happy holidays. If you guys want to talk sports with me, ask me some questions about my talk show, some of my favorite interviews, check me out on Cameo, Chris Pame, and book your Cameo today. You can also follow me on Blue Sky Social. Blue Sky Social is like what Twitter used to be, at Live with CDP19 on Blue Sky Social. If you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge Industrial Humane Society, located at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-623-7722, extension 0, or visit their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org. All the animals and pets up for adoption, their profiles are there, and we're trying to get Pebbles and Christopher adopted. Pebbles and Christopher have been at the shelter a long time, and they're both fun-loving dogs as well. And I want to say thank you to Zach, Kat, and the staff for my Christmas card and my Starbucks gift card, and for some animal towels they gave me as well. So I really appreciate. I love helping out there. I walk dogs down there twice a week, and I do some fundraising for them as well. And by the way, I am selling 2026 Cambridge Humane Society calendars for $10, and the money and the proceeds go back to the Humane Society in the programs there as well. So if you're interested in a calendar, they're only $10, and they make a great Christmas gift, stocking stuffer, or a birthday gift as well. So you can email me at cpame19@gmail.com if you'd like a calendar. If you're out of Guelph, Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, you're in other parts of Ontario or out of province or out of the country, then it's $10 plus shipping costs if you'd like a calendar as well. Pardon me there. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, again, is live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And fingers crossed, this show will be on TikTok soon. I just have to figure out the logistics of StreamYard and TikTok, which has apparently partnered up. You can follow my website, beacons.ai/Chris D. Pame. Speaking of TikTok, you can follow me there as well. I'm on TikTok at Chris Pame. Follow me there, like, and share. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars, live streaming, podcasting, check out StreamYard.com. They have the basic free plans, paid professional plans like I do. And if you're a business that does a lot of webinars or live streaming, go to StreamYard.com and contact their sales department for pricing as well. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. The audio version is on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, and Good Pods. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. Finally, guys, you can email the show Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpame19@gmail.com. Any comments, questions, suggestions, and feedback would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you'd like to support and contribute to my YouTube channel and my media work, I am on PayPal. You can go to PayPal, and my email is cpame19@gmail.com. If you are interested into contributing through PayPal or booking a cameo from me as well. Finally, guys, you can follow me on these social media sites: Facebook, Threads, Twitter, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, Blue Sky Social, every social media site except for Snapchat. And also remember to subscribe, like, and share my YouTube channel, Chris Pame Live with CDP Talk Show. And I want to say thank you to all my subscribers and my viewers there as well. I have more great content there as well. And that wraps up our show, guys. And again, I want to say special thank you to our guest, Amy, today for coming on here and sharing her story, and also sharing her dog, Mabel, with us as well. So thank you to Amy for coming on, everybody. And I'm looking forward to having a day off on Sunday to watch NFL football and relax. The Eagles are coming off a devastating 24-15 loss to the Bears, so there's a lot of angry people in Philadelphia right now with the Eagles. And Michigan lost today 27-9 to Ohio State. So this has not been a good week for me, being an Eagles fan, losing to Dallas and Chicago, and then Michigan losing to Ohio State today 27-9. And at last count, Boston was up 1-0 on the Red Wings, who are struggling right now, and the Pistons, last count, were up 50-42 over Miami. They've lost 2 in a row as well. So this has not been a good week for me sports-wise. But as for my talk show, I have done 5 shows this week, 4 live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Shows, and 1 small talk podcast with Marlene Sharp. And I want to say thank you to Marlene, my co-host on the Small Talk podcast, and I want to say thank you to all my wonderful guests as well. It's the guests that make a great talk show as well. And before we wrap up this show, Robbie Schneider from Buffalo, New York, he's a podcast host of his own podcast show, the 716 Sports Blizzard podcast. He was at the KeyBank Center tonight, and the National Lacrosse League World Champions 3 times in a row. The Buffalo Bandits won 15-11 tonight over the Georgia Swarm at the KeyBank Center. Robbie, thank you for the update, and thank you for the good results. Finally, a team of mine wins So Buffalo Bandits start out the season 1-0 with a big win, 15-11 over Georgia. I will be covering this team this year again as remotely media work, and hopefully one day I'll be able to get back to Buffalo. But the Bandits are off to a good start. They had a sellout crowd there tonight at the KeyBank Center. You can check them out on NLL.com, the National Lacrosse League site, NLL.com, or check out BuffaloBandits.com for more information about the team. So 15-11 for the Bandits, and it's good to have the National Lacrosse League back as well. Robbie, thank you so much for the update. Evan, thank you for watching and for your questions and comments as well. And that wraps it up, guys. I'm looking forward to Monday night, December 1st at 7 o'clock with guest Dr. Chanel Braden, workplace conflict strategist, and she's also a psychological safety expert as well. Really looking forward to that. Again, I want to say thank you to Amy and thank you to all my guests for watching this show. And I got one more comment here, and Robbie's saying, go Bills, go Bandits, go Sabres. Go Bandits, yes. Go Bills, no. Go Steelers, go Sabres, Sabres, Bills, no. Bandits, yes. But Robbie, thank you for your comments as well as Evans, and thank you to everyone for watching this show. And if you're a business looking to advertise on live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, you can email me at cpalme19@gmail.com or DM me on my social media pages as well. I am on 21 platforms. I have listeners in 70 countries around the world, and I have over 500,000 plus views on my YouTube channel. So I look forward to working with you in your business and advertising it on here on live stream. I hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you back here Monday night at 7 o'clock for another edition of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, Chris Palme. Have a good night, everybody, and thanks for watching and listening to our show.